So my name is Jamie Brett. I run the creative projects at the Museum of Youth Culture. I've been working for the museum for 7 or 8 years now, and it's all been about bringing out this incredible archive of youth culture history and helping turn that into a museum. It's been an amazing journey really, because our director John Swinstead started a magazine called Sleaze Nation back in the 90s, and the magazine was collecting images of youth culture, and I think John felt that it was going into the magazine, it was being used, but no one was preserving it. So it wasn't until about 2015 when we got a major exhibition, and that was the first time we got invited to actually bring the images out and see how the public respond to them. And that's the bit that's been so interesting, is actually realising that enough time's passed now that all the rivalry of all the subcultures is over, and it's a time where you can bring everyone together and celebrate the creativity that young people have forged over the last 100 years. We're looking back at a period of time, you know, as we always do, we tend to look back 20 years and everyone's wearing the clothing from that time. For me personally, being sort of 10 years old in the year 2000, I was in sports shops buying the cheekiest clothing, and G-Shock was always part of that look. I think the G-Shock brand really ties in with that British cheekiness that I think comes through a lot of music genres. But also the extreme sports as well. People are wearing G-Shock because it's protective. You know, that's the thing that I think makes G-Shock really special, is that there's a practicality, but there's a sort of cultural significance with it as well that ties in with music and the fashion alongside it. We've always wanted to work with the watch brand, and I think immediately the G-Shock team just looked at our archive and they just said, first of all, to show us the images of G-Shock watches and maybe show us some more incidental shots around that. We essentially worked on a sort of a wider edit of images that we wanted to sort of showcase, obviously with the images on the watch, to sort of back those up and support them. We tried to sort of shake it up a bit, so we're covering as many different decades as we can within the, you know, with the G-Shock brand's been about. Gavin Watson is one of our most well-known photographers. He went from being a skinhead to being a long-haired hippie within about the space of 6 months. And I think Gavin's influence on this watch has been a really important thing, because it's sort of shown that subcultures aren't just about being segregated into boxes, it's actually that we all move through them in life. The watch itself transitions from punk and skinhead right up to rave just within the design itself. So we thought it was a really nice way of just celebrating the way that youth culture is transient. It's not all about being too tribal. But what we look at when we look at this watch and we look at this collaboration is the unity and the celebration of unity of people. The G-Shock watch really sums up an energy, I think, that young people are experiencing today, where it's a bit 2000s, it's a little bit noughties, but it's got a modern twist on it. This watch is just absolutely embodies that energy, which is, let's get youth culture out there, let's celebrate it, and let's look at it as something that the next generation can be inspired by as well. Not just sort of harking back to the past, but looking at what the next sort of group of young people can forge.